Yeah! Okay. Also, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
What's in the fucking box?
What's in the fucking box?
This is What's in the Box with Zach and Cheryl.
Cheryl! And that's the bottom line.
That's Cheryl. I'm Zach. So, how's it going? How's everything going? Yeah?
It's going.
It's going.
Had to put out fires today.
Fires!
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Fire, William Robinson! Fire!
Everyone's so
Danger,
dramatic.
Sorry. Danger, William Robinson! Danger! It's like, Cheryl, it's like that meme with the dog where he's sitting
Everything's
with the
fine.
The coffee.
Everything's fine.
That was Cheryl today for about 4 hours. She was like, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I'll take that back. People are not dramatic. People are just hurt.
And
they're letting their hurtness affect
their judgment
yes.
of things. Yeah.
Which is fine.
They're allowed to be heard.
I just had to put the fires out is all.
Yeah. They just have to go pee.
So things could go my way.
Are you gonna go my way?
So things could go their way.
Yeah.
So things could go everyone's way.
Yeah.
Because if we had all just calmed down, we all want the same thing here.
Oh, just calm down. So
kind of all want the same thing here. Not the bottom line. We all want the same thing. It's just the details.
Because that's the bottom line.
I'm talking a lot cryptically. Sorry.
Because Cheryl said so.
Cheryl said so. Suck it.
So, did you work on anything new? Did you do anything new?
Like what?
Since it's been 2 weeks now, because we didn't do one last week. Because, well, I mean, on here we did. Yes, we did one last week, but for the viewers, there's one in between because my dad's episode dropped today, and this will drop next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so this week.
I don't know what I've done next week.
In the future.
I don't know what I've done in the future.
Okay, so what about this week? Did you do anything fun? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything?
No.
Did you work on anything?
Just your mom's Tigger.
Okay.
I can't find brown yarn anywhere. I need brown yarn. Brown fluff yarn. Well, not fluff.
No.
It's got to be like the Chanel or blanket yarn. But I can't find it anywhere. I can't find brown.
Brown?
Anywhere.
No.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, but you did, oh, I guess not. I was going to say you did finish up a couple things that you were still stuck on.
No, I didn't finish up anything because I need brown. I'm finishing up on your mom's Tigger because I got the color I needed for him.
What?
I gotta work on a Togepi.
Togepi. Yeah. So, by the time this comes out, it will be, which we'll do one. So you're probably gonna be. Well, I shouldn't say that because the last time I said that the last time we got ahead, we stopped doing podcasts and then we were behind. So I shouldn't say that. But if all goes well, we're gonna do one for my birthday.
Yeah. His birthday.
Yeah, because I'm excited.
And he always barfs when he's drunk, so it's his birthday.
Birthday. My barf weekend. Yeah. But like Cheryl said, I get one weekend a year to live like a rock star.
We all just want to be big rock stars and live at Hilltop. Bosses driving 15 cars. I'm singing this wrong and I don't know how. I fucked it up so bad. Oh, wow.
That's good. That's good recovery, though.
Yeah.
That was good. But yeah, because I like my birthday. I know people are lame and like are like, it's just another day.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I just really like
I'm just old.
like
I'm
I've
just
said.
kidding.
Well, no, like I've said to you, and like I've said to a lot of people.
lost my
I don't know. I still enjoy that.
Get further.
I don't. Are you okay?
I lost my phone. It fell out of my pocket.
I don't really
And it
have.
just kept going away and away and away and away.
I don't really have like a lot of
Give it away.
times
Give it
and
away. Give it
things
away.
that like I go out and do stuff, or like it's about me, or like that I can not worry about things.
For the noogie. The noogie. Stick the cookie. Stick it up your yeah.
Anyway, there's not a whole lot of days during the year that I'm just like whatever. I'm just gonna do whatever.
This is my day.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about other people or what they think or what they want because it's not about them. It's about me.
Yeah. So I really enjoy that. I still enjoy that. I still enjoy.
Yeah, because you're a narcissist.
Having. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I still enjoy.
You don't have to take it offensively.
Having like, I don't know, getting stuff for me and like not worrying about where I'm gonna be or what's gonna have to deal with the kids or like things like that. I just really like.
Talk about
it's still fun.
Talk about number one on my email.
So fun. So yeah.
It's your birthday. That's why it's birthday too.
I was just gonna let you keep going.
Sorry. They just keep coming.
Okay, that's why I was just gonna let you.
Well,
keep
they stopped.
going.
You stopped talking.
Thanks, Wyatt. I appreciate it.
You were triggering them.
So anyway, so yeah, that should be fun. It's gonna be fun because I got the whole weekend, and my parents are watching the kids, so
yeah,
it should be fun. I hope so.
Yeah, he's got high hopes.
And I get to spend the whole weekend with you, so that's nice too.
Woo! Weekend! The missus! With the old chain and ball? I'm old Greg!
The old set of balls.
Should I dress up as old Greg for your birthday?
I don't know.
You're like, no, I have an outfit for you. You're supposed to wear that.
That's the whole point. It's fine.
I'm just kidding.
It's like every other year, you can do whatever you want.
I'm kidding. It was a joke. Take everything so serious.
What?
Serious.
What?
Seriously.
Anyway.
Why
so is there? I ask you this every time, and it's always the same answer. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Is there any ideas that you have?
Your mom is a wonderful lady.
Yes, she is.
And she has been dubbed favorite grandma today.
By another grandma.
By my mom.
I just think that's funny. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
We're gonna get my mom a sweatshirt that says, "My grandkid's favorite grandma lives in Nevada or lives in Wisconsin."
Yeah, I thought that would be funny. I still think it's a good idea. Anyway.
I'm sorry, was I bothering you?
Yes.
Sorry. Don't get me like that.
Anyway, so I had a few things, and I was going to ask you. I probably should have asked you before we started this.
Previously?
But previously on. But actually, you want to know something cool? Hold on. I can pause it. So you don't even know. We could have had like a whole hour makeout sesh and you guys wouldn't even known about it. See, it was so good. Paralyzed.
I was paused.
Oh. Well, fine then. Never mind. It wasn't even that good. So don't even be jealous. It wasn't even that good.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, I forgot that we could pause because I paused it with my dad and I was like, oh, that's convenient. Be like, fuck, we didn't talk about shit. And we're super prepared.
So prepared.
Anyway, so I want to talk about what? I only have 40 minutes? Why do I only have 40 minutes? Oh no. Okay, we better get talking.
Wait, I want to play a game with you first real quick.
Okay, well
I keep saying all these podcasters play this game and I want to try it.
Okay, well then can we okay.
Hurry. Okay, ready? We both have to think of a word. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bananas. No, you have to say it.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Sorry, okay. Start over. Choose a different word.
You suck at this game.
Alright, we both have to say a word.
Okay.
Okay? Let's say it at the same time. So
like
1, 2, 3,
I feel
word.
like just based off of what just happened, I don't think my words are going to be the same as your words.
Well, like a thing, a person, place, or...
No, I know what the term word means.
Well, no, because you could have picked an adjective, but I'm saying, like, pick a noun.
Mine was dick.
Oh, well,
Yours was banana.
that would have been fast. Anyways.
What's the other part of this game?
You'll see. Okay, ready? Okay. 1, 2. I don't know what to say.
Oh my god! At this game. I had one.
Okay. Ready.
And I'm gonna use the same one.
1, 2, 3.
Trees.
Oh, I was gonna say trees. The game's over. We did it.
Yeah. We're so good at this.
All right, try again. Ready?
But I don't want to try again.
No, yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ocean.
Pussy.
Ocean. Okay, now we have to think of a word.
What? Sorry.
Don't say anything.
Okay. Sorry.
See? Now you fucked it up.
Well, I didn't know what the game was. I didn't know I was gonna fuck it up.
Okay, after we say a word, now we have to say a word that those two words correlate with.
Okay.
We have to keep doing it until we say a word that's the same.
Okay, then we gotta
say the same word.
Okay,
I know. Okay. Because you're gonna say wet. Because we both said. I know, because you said it. So I can't get it out of my head now. So we were both gonna say wet. All right, ready?
Wait. Okay.
Starting over.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Flagpole. Okay. Oh. Okay. We have to think of a word that correlates with cake and flagpole.
I got one.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bam.
Butts.
Okay. Okay. Bam.
Wait,
and butts.
What? Hold on. How does bam?
No, explain it later. I'll explain it later.
Mine works.
I'll explain it later.
Okay. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. Wait, what was it? Bam and butts?
Bam and butts. Ready?
Wait, hold on.
Wait. No, ready?
What? I can't.
1, 2, 3. Dildos.
Sorry.
How you didn't do it?
No, shampoo was the one that was in my head,
Bam
though.
and butts?
Yeah.
Shampoo?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to correlate shampoo and dildos.
Ooh, easy one.
Okay. I don't know.
No, you're gonna like this. It's gonna make you laugh. At least my words are gonna make you laugh.
Shampoo and dildos. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Showers.
I told you you were gonna like it.
Ah! Okay, ready? Childhood showers. Are you ready? We're really bad at this. We went from so good that we said the same word right after that to really bad.
I'm gonna come full circle. Go ahead.
Childhood showers.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Childhood showers. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bath time. Bath time. Masturbate.
Mm.
1, 2, 3, faucet.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't say anything.
I was gonna say soap.
Okay, faucet and soap.
I don't want to.
We gotta say the same word. Faucet and soap. Ready?
Well, okay.
Ready?
You're not gonna get what I'm gonna say.
Faucet and soap. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, bubbles.
See, I told you.
Wyatt and bubbles. Okay, ready? Wyatt and bubbles.
Okay.
Shit. Okay. Okay.
Come on, me a sound.
No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, pop.
Pop.
Okay, we're done.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. Okay.
That went from some really bad to okay.
We're gonna have to. It was getting a little rocky there for a little bit. I'm gonna pause this real quick because I need more space. So that was fun. We're gonna cut together. Dicks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, somebody's dirty.
No, it made sense.
Yeah, so does Cake and Flagpole.
Yeah, that's why I said butts.
No, you said butts when I said cake.
No, I said butts when you said Cake and Flagpole. That's why it was funny.
Well, what does flagpole have to do with butts?
Dicks in butts.
Oh.
It's funny. That's why everything I said made sense.
Everything I said made sense.
Yeah, it did. That's why it's fun. I'll play that again. That was fun.
Yeah, I know. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. We need more games to play on the podcast because that was fun.
Yeah. We'll think of more games.
Okay.
I'll think more games and less topics.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Oh, never mind. Not you guys. Just, I had messages.
Tina.
Yeah, I had messages.
He was yelling at Tina to get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, so we're going to talk. We discussed during our commercial break. We're going to talk about step parents and impacts. Yeah. Because I feel like there's a lot of, well, me and Cheryl have talked.
But you don't have a step parent.
I don't have a step parent, but I am a step parent. So I can't really talk about the impact as far as like growing up with a step parent, but I can comment to being one, I guess.
I have a question.
But
what was it like becoming a step parent without ever having one? So like you don't have anyone to look up to.
I'm gonna give you an answer. Like the rest of my life, I just based it off of movies.
Oh my god.
No, honestly, it wasn't. It was a lot easier. It was a lot easier with you because I went into it understanding like, okay, I'm not there. I guess looking into the future, I always had that thought of like that moment of like, you're not my real dad, like in the future, like happening. So like I never like pushed that.
I don't think I ever really did that.
Again, going back,
I just meant like
off
when
of movies.
I was a kid. Yeah, but my kids did do that, kind of.
Not to me.
Yeah, they did. Emma did.
Emma did sort of, but not like in that dramatic.
Okay, but she said it.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't happen dramatically in the movies.
No, I'm just saying like that part of it never like happened. Like there wasn't a like.
I also don't get cut open or a trachea put in every time I go to the ER. So
unrealistic expectations.
I know.
No,
they don't even take me serious in the doctor's office.
No, but like I don't know. I always treated it as like I'm here. I care about you, and that was always my point. Even when we first got together, is that I just wanted them to understand that I care about them and want what's best for them.
I ate the cheesecake too fast.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just keep burping, and I'm like, I know they can hear this.
And like actually they can't.
Really?
No. Like the few times where like I've burped or whatever, like unless like really loud, like can't really. Even most chewing sounds.
I don't know. I think they can.
Anyway, but even like we talked about it today, even that's always been like my main thing. Is like I just want what's best for them. And like I was going to say, I think it was a lot easier coming into it with you because we had that conversation, and I understand that must have been frustrating for you at times, but like we had talked about how I wasn't going to discipline them when we first got together because I didn't want to come into that relationship and be like, this is my house and my rules now. Like, I didn't want that. You know what I mean?
Well, that was also like an outside thing too, because I couldn't let you discipline them.
Well,
Not really.
Yeah.
Not at first.
But that also, I mean, frustrating wise, but that also helped in the long run too, because I did get that time, especially with Emma, I did get that time of just like being that cool parent, being like that person that's there for them, like emotionally and like to talk and like things like that. It's not my stomach.
I didn't think it was your stomach, but that's
it's funny
cool.
because I originally thought it was your stomach until it got louder.
That is what my stomach
I
has
was
been
like,
sounding like today.
I was like, geez, and then it got louder behind
Except
me. And
for
I'm like,
it's
oh.
been more of a whine. It's been like,
But anyway, I got that with both, especially with Emma, but with both the girls, I got that like time of just like,
what the fuck,
being fun and caring and talking and like,
yeah.
while you had to be the disciplinarian. But I don't know. I think it helps. Sorry, that was the answer. That was the answer to your question.
That was a lot.
I didn't really think about it. I guess that was the only. Well, that was the only. I was very self-aware that I didn't want to come in and be that like super harsh, hated step-parent or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've always had that approach with both the girls. I want them to. They don't need to come to me with everything. Like, I like that they have that relationship with you, but like they don't need to come to me with everything. But the both of them in their own time have.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. Like, I'm not down their throat about like, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on? Why are you doing this? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. I've always tried to keep that with both of them.
Well, and they also know that most things that I know you're gonna know.
Mm.
I say most, because
that
not everything.
I think that helps. I think our communication in front of them helps.
Yeah.
Helps the whole thing.
But I do believe that some things do need to be kept between, like, not parent and child, but like that parent and child. I'm not saying it because you're not. It wouldn't be any different if you were their father. They came to me out of discrepancy or whatever, like,
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, most of the stuff, when I know it's not that big of a deal, yeah. Or if it's has to do with their safety or anything. Like if Emma came to me to tell me that she's starting to have like intercourse, I would let you know.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we need to know. That's something we need to watch for and pay attention and
affects everybody.
Be aware of.
Affects everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one thing, and not to. I don't say a lot of. That sounds mean too. I was trying to say this in not a mean way. There are some things from my parents that I took that I think work, and that I think have worked with the girls that I had going into it. Is one of the things that I know that you did it too was the honesty thing.
Yeah.
And that's hard as a parent, and like me and you have talked about it. Like, there are things with Emma specifically that like my dad used to do this, and I don't know if it worked out well for him. I don't really know, because I only know when he did it to me, and my things weren't really all that big. You know what I mean? But like, he always had this thing where if you tell me the truth, you won't get in trouble. And if it's big enough for you to be in trouble, it'll be less than it was
if you lie.
if you lied.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was fair. I always thought that was a fair thing. Because obviously, even at a younger age, I understood parents, like, that's a part of it. Like, you can't go crash your parents' car and be like, hey, I crashed your car, and then be like, oh, no big deal. Like, that's not part of being a parent. So you're going to get disciplined for things, but I always thought that was a fair compromise of like, okay, I tell you the truth, and instead of, this month-long discipline, I get like 2 weeks or whatever. And so I've had that with the girls, and it's worked out for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they lie, but like when I have given them that ultimatum of like, you tell me the
Emma's
truth.
gotten a lot better.
Yeah. Alice has too.
Like, even with stupid things.
With that ultimatum, though.
Even with stupid things, because Emma, she gets this from her dad, but
she's a habitual liar.
Yeah, she just can't help it. Even if it's over little things that she's not going to be in trouble for anyways, or that doesn't matter. She just can't help herself. Like the other day when she came down in her brother's shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you wearing your brother's shirt? And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh? Are you wearing someone else's brother's shirt? Well, no, I just found it on my bedroom floor.
I thought it was a crop top.
Yeah. Like she knew. And then
she even said that later.
And she said it. She was like, yeah, I knew it was my brother's shirt. And I was like, yeah, I know. Because it's a Power Ranger shirt for a toddler, size 3. So, clearly.
Yeah.
The fact that she could fit her tits into a toddler size 3 t-shirt, though.
Well, I said that. I said that to you about. I said that to you about.
I was like, isn't it a little tight? She goes, only around the arms.
I said that to you about other things when it comes to Emma, but also, I don't know. I just have a lot of things when it comes to the girls that I'm conscious of, I guess. Even like stuff like that. Like, I understand. And I use Emma as an example because Alice, for the most part, doesn't really do anything. She just kind of plays video. I mean, like, daily. Yeah. Like, she has times that she goes to a friend's house and, like, wants to go do things. But day to day, she's pretty much in her room playing video games. Whereas Emma is, like, every day she needs something to do and she needs, like, people. So, but also I understand parts of not only her age, but being a kid. Like, there are times, and I've said this to both the girls, there are times, like, parents let you lie. Not for the sake of, like, anything other than it's not worth
the fight.
Calling you out on a lie that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Like her brother's t-shirt.
Yeah, like the crop top thing.
I didn't need to be like, why'd you fucking lie to me? Like,
yeah, there's no point in that. And also it gives, I say this in a backwards way, but it gives a kid an ability of having that rebellion, like being like, oh, I got away with this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which every kid wants, needs, does, because that's part of being a kid, especially a teenager when you are 13, 14, in that age range.
Yeah.
Like, that's your whole thing, is that you are becoming your own person. You're trying to break away from, being that kid status. You know what I mean? Like, being thought of as that kid. And you're going to do things that you feel like you want to get away with something. That's why there are things about Emma specifically. That's what I was bringing up. That I let go. Because I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's not hurting her. It's not causing an issue.
Speaking of kids doing kids things, fucking. So, you know how Emma and all of her friends and Alice all dyed their hair?
No. I didn't. Because I work all the time. And they're asleep.
It was on your weekend. Like, all the girls were over. It was, Emma had, like, Haley and Mari and 2 other girls were over too. And then Alice. They all decided to dye their hair.
I knew Alice did because she showed me, but I didn't know anybody
Oh,
else did.
they all did. They all decided to dye their hair. I just let them have the dye box and was like, yeah, just don't get it on anything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get it on anything. They did a really good job. And anything they did get it on, they cleaned it up right away and it didn't stain. They did a really good job. I was surprised because it's like, my kids are messy as hell, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I go into their bathroom today, right?
Mm-hmm.
No dye anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But there's a melted lollipop sitting on the counter, and it's like melted to the counter now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you dyed 6 people's hair in this bathroom. 6 people! 6 people dyed their hair in this bathroom. 6 people! And there's no dye anywhere, but you have a lollipop melted to the counter. I can't comprehend.
Sorry.
They're just so gross. Like, you would think that as they got older, they'd get better at this, but no, they're still so gross.
So, going back to the actual...
You keep trailing off the conversation.
I'm not. I'm talking about the actual thing.
Uh-huh.
So, what was it like for you having a step parent? Because yours came into your life later. Like
But it wasn't my first.
I know. I was just saying, like, well, yeah, you could talk about that too, but I was talking about the one that stuck.
Because I did have to deal with,
but like, I got the girls at
people and shitty people, and
I got the girls at 6 and 4, so like,
yeah,
I got to be in their lives a lot earlier than that. But
because even
but you got Dan.
Even the ones before Dan were later in my life. Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with the first one, I mean, he was obviously a terrible guy. But we didn't know that at first, and he was really cool and he, I don't know, involved me and that was cool. Looking back, it's like, oh,
yeah,
that was just grooming. Got it. But I mean, like, I don't know. I felt the only thing I didn't like about that one, and I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of felt a certain way, and I did kind of do that he's not my dad thing. Mm-hmm. Sort of. I didn't do it to him or in his face or anything. But I remember my mom was like, I think she was trying to ground me for my grades or something. Because it wasn't even a report card, it was the in between one, the progress report. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I even had an F on that one. I think I just had like C's. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you're grounded a week for every grade that's below something, B or something. And I was like, what? When do we do this? And she was like, I'm not going to say his name, but she was like, so-and-so thinks that this is how it should go. And I was like, well, so-and-so's not my fucking dad. I didn't say it like that. I didn't say he's not my fucking dad.
What he thinks.
I said, why does so-and-so get to say? And Mom was like, well, he's a part of this too, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't think so, but okay. And I was like, you never cared about progress reports before. You've only cared about report cards. And if it's not an F, then you didn't care before, so I don't understand why you care now. But it was what it was. I understand now that, it was just, she was just trying to do what she was supposed to be doing, and
yeah,
I get it. But at the time, it was like, well, why does this guy get to dictate how we do our thing? We've been doing our thing like how we do it for a while now. So why does he get to have a say? And then the next guy that she was with, that we lived with, I didn't really like him at all. Like, we didn't get along at all. I don't know if he even tried to get along with me. I don't remember. I cannot tell you a single instant in which he did anything with me. Like, I can't think of a single thing where, like, I don't remember a dinner or anything. I just remember having to watch his kids all the time while he was in his bedroom working. So, So yeah, I don't have all the memories I have of living there was having to sleep on the couch because he wouldn't give up one of his kids' bedrooms for me to have one, and um, taking care of his kids, his 5 and his 2-year-old, because he wasn't. And so I had to feed them when I got home from school. I had to change the diapers and play with them and discipline and put them to bed and whatever. So I don't know, yeah. So I didn't really, that wasn't, And then so my mom, I mean, I knew Dan for a while before they got together because, like I've said before, I've been to Dan's first wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mom was friends with them previously, so, and when we went through a rough patch with that guy in between, and we ended up living with Dan for like a few weeks in the summer or whatever, uh, in between 7th and 8th grade. And so, like, it's not like I didn't know Dan. It's not like we just, like, oh, here's this guy and we're living with him, like, kind of like how the others were. And I'm sure it wasn't like that. I'm sure it took more time than that, but it just felt like
That's
it was like,
felt easy.
oh, here we are. Now we're living here.
We're just back at Dan's.
But yeah, well,
and then you just never left.
That one, I actually really tried to rebel the whole relationship.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of Dan. It wasn't because I felt some way about Dan. It was because I was tired of fucking moving. And by mom being with Dan meant we had to move to another town.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And I remember straight up telling my mom, like, I've always been kind of scared of my mom. Well, I say kind of, but I've always been really scared of my mom. And so, like, standing up to my mom as a kid was like, no, we just don't do that. Mm-hmm. Like, we just go cry about it in our room afterwards. We scream into a pillow, call her a bitch through the wall, like, quietly. It's so quietly that you can't even hear it. Like, bitch. You fucking bitch. But
ASMR.
Yeah, honestly. We fill the closet up with pillows, smash our face into one, and say it through that. But
maybe that's why
I remember that being like the first time I ever was like I'm standing up to my mom. I'm being straight up with her. Like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm not moving. We're not going to Fernley. I'm not moving. You're not getting with this guy. And I remember even telling her, like, why can't he move out here with us? And, her explanation made sense because he was a cop and he had a job in Fernley. So, like, my mom's never had, like, a job that she needed to, like, she never had, like, a career job.
Yeah. That she couldn't just move.
Yeah. Or she couldn't just get a new job or move or whatever. So, and Dan did own his own house, so, I mean, okay, I guess.
Okay.
I still didn't take it very well. I rebelled hard. I was like, I'm not making friends here. I'm not doing shit. I'm just gonna look like an emo kid.
I'm an emo
but, like,
kid.
Not a, like, trendy emo kid. Just, like, I'm gonna sit in my desk with my hoodie up and cry every class period.
Super sad.
Oh, it was bad.
I'm just super sad.
But I got along with Dan. It wasn't him. Like, me and him got along great. And, like, I tell people, I tell my mom all the time when she calls me about things or whatever with my brothers, I'm like, have they talked to Dan yet? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. And I'm like, why not? Dan's got, like, the best advice for fucking anything. Like, relationship, Dan. Like, job, Dan. Life advice, Dan. You want advice? You go to Dan. You want to know what to do? You're stressed out? Talk to Dan. Like, I don't know. He's the easiest person to talk to. He's always got the greatest advice. And even if he doesn't know how to help the situation, he will help you
feel better about
it and or find the resources in which you can get help for the situation. Like, not necessarily, he doesn't like to give anyone anything. He likes you to work for it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll point you in the right direction. And I don't know, I've always loved that about him. I think that He's a perfect. If I could imagine anyone being the perfect stepdad for a child who's been through the things I had been through at the time, he was it. He was absolutely 100% the perfect stepdad for what I needed at that time of my life. I just needed someone that would listen and like, yeah, Dan was a disciplinary, but it wasn't like that didn't bother me. And he wasn't a disciplinary in an unfair fashion. Like,
Yeah.
his disciplinary made sense. The way he said it made sense. What he did made sense. Like, it wasn't like, why I don't like the whole, like I said, like the whole report card thing. Like, that didn't make sense to me. You know, why is this all of a sudden a thing? But the way Dan would do things, he didn't do it through my mom either. He did it, and like he would explain to you why he's doing it. He would explain to you why these things are happening to you, and that's probably the cop in him or whatever. But yeah,
Do you think that, like, obviously Dan affected you, but do you think that, like, with me, oh my god. Anyway, like,
he turned me into a sociopath.
like
That's
with
for sure.
like with me. No, do you think like with me or like with you having like boyfriends or whatever, do you think it affected the way you look at like
Relationships with men with children.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just like
I don't think
like
Dan
obvious
affected that.
no
I think
no I mean like
the
obvious
others.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Obviously like the others affected you, but what I'm saying is like basing it off of Dan, like it would be really nice if I could find somebody like
Well, kind
that would
of,
be
yeah.
like this.
Well, I think it put a perspective around like how I said to you, like the girls need someone who's going to be there whether we're there or not.
Mhm.
Like they need someone who's that they can like if we're not together anymore, they can still call you and you'll be there. Like
Yeah.
and I think that seeing that in Dan, I think that put that into perspective. Like I don't think that I think if mom and Dan ever divorced, I don't think if I needed to or if I wanted to, I don't think Dan would be upset if I called him.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that would be a problem. Like I don't call Dan now, but I get to talk to him through mom sometimes. I don't know. Yes, it'd be nice to call Dan sometimes, but I don't have his phone number.
No,
so
I was just
I'm on the no call list. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just gonna say this. That's like my favorite part about you and Dan's relationship, and like outside perspective relationship, is because like you can I don't know you can tell when Dan does talk to you that like he likes you. I know
Yeah.
that's weird to say, but like, but also like I know personally because we've talked and I'm your husband. I know how you feel about Dan. And it's just really funny seeing the two of you interact with each other in real time
Yeah.
because it's very much like you guys have moments, but it's very much like a hi, you're cool. Dead bodies, huh? Yeah, like that's very much like
Dead bodies, huh?
like that's very
That's spot on.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like it's very much like how you guys communicate.
Hey, did you see that bridge
Unlike,
collapse? Yeah, I did. Okay.
I like the outside, but like I've also heard you like that's probably like 90% of your interactions. But I've also heard like when we were out there, I've also heard the two of you like talk for like
Longer than 5 seconds.
longer than 5 seconds, and it's not small talk. I mean, it is small talk, but it's not like
It's not awkward. Like we don't.
yeah, it's not awkward.
I don't
It's
know.
not like so you still got those kids, huh?
We just pick up right where we left off.
Yeah.
Like it's like nothing. No time has passed. Nothing has happened. Like it's yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that was funny. Just because like I had until we went out there the first time, I had only heard you talk to Dan like over the phone or like through your mom, and it was always like that.
You want to hear something funny?
But then, like, you had always told me, you're like, yeah, I really like Dan's great. Like, Dan's the best. And then, like, but it was like, okay, but it doesn't, like.
You know how, like, especially for girls, you know how, like, anything happens in your life, the first person you want to call is your mom. Like, you're like, oh, I pooped today. I want to call my mom and let her know. Like, Dan is work. Like, anytime anything happens with, like, my job, or, like, I get a promotion, or I get a new job, or, you know, anything like that, Dan is the one that I want to tell.
Yeah.
Like, Dan's the one that I want to be like, hey, guess what? I just got a promotion. I'm making fucking $26 an hour now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like, and it's not like well, you could make 30. Well, you could do this. Well, you could apply here.
No, he's never been like that. I mean, I can imagine how ridiculous I probably sounded when I was like, hey, I just got a job at Amazon. I'm making $15 an hour. Can you fucking believe that? And he's like, okay. Like, but he did it. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, that's good. Good job, you know? Whereas, like, if my daughter at 26 years old called me up with 2 children, married and divorced already, I'm making $15 an hour, I'd be like, where you working, McDonald's? Good job, babe. No, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, like, you know, I don't know. He's always been really, like, I don't know.
But that's what I was saying.
I just think back at some of that stuff though, when I got that job at like Zulily, or like when I got that job training managers.
I tell people this all the time.
Like, okay.
It's a different perspective. And I understand it has to be because you're an adult and more like adult things happen.
Yeah, I've had real jobs.
Yeah. And like you especially like had 2 kids, so like that puts you in a different like thing.
Tax bracket?
No. Well, yeah. But like but I told you this the other day. I remember my brother with a straight face. My dad had said, him and my dad got in an argument about something, and my dad was talking about how we didn't really have money to like do something or whatever. And my dad has been on salary, well, except for a very small chunk of time. My dad has been on salary for as long as I can remember. And I remember my brother being like, well, what do you make? Like $12 an hour? Straight dead face. My dad, 5 kids in a 4-bedroom house. And at that time, my mom wasn't working during that time either. So solo income for 5 kids. One of them being an adult. And my brother's straight face was like, you probably make like $12 an hour. And I look back on that and I'm like, I was making $11.50, and that was after a raise when I became a full-time partner at Psalms before I got my own apartment. And like, it's just a different, like I said, it's just like a different perspective. Because like at that time, you don't really have a whole lot of like at that time, he didn't have a whole lot of responsibilities.
Yeah. Well, and I know it's perspective because I went from.
But even like now,
because it was a perspective thing for me, because I went from like $7 an hour at McDonald's to, oh my god, I'm making $11 an hour.
Money.
Holy crap! I'm taking home $500 a week. No way.
Well, I thought. Well, I had the same. And
now, if a job offered me $500 a week, I'd be like, no way.
I had the same thing with Psalms though. Before, because I was making a little under $10 an hour at Fazoli's, but I had to drive back and forth to Green Bay every day. So I was basically, and I didn't have my own apartment at the time. And so I was basically making enough money in gas to drive out there and drive back.
That is so frustrating, because my first job here in Wisconsin, which would have been around the same time that you were working at Fazoli's, I was making $7.50.
$7.50? That sucks. But like, okay, so yeah, so
it's so frustrating to hear that I could have just gone to Fazoli's
and made more,
and made like a couple bucks,
and we could have met each other sooner. Anyway, sorry. But like, I'm making enough money to drive back and forth, pay for cigarettes, pay for gas, and then like I ate there because we got to make our own food. So like, and I didn't have my own apartment at the time either. So I went from that to being a temp at Psalms, then being a full-time partner and making $11.50. And then I was in that time, I was able to get my own apartment. I was able to get a brand new TV at the time, and then like a couple other things, and I kept up with rent. I was never behind in rent, and I was paying for somebody else's rent at the time too. But I remember in that time being like, I'm making so much fucking money. Like,
that's how I felt when I was making $500 a week.
Like,
but then again, rent
I'm
was
able to
only
pay,
like $500 a month, so I was making 4 times rent.
Yeah, mine was $5.50.
Yeah.
But I even told you that when we first got together. Like, I felt like I was making so, and at that time I was making $14 an hour, $13 an hour when we first got together. And even at that time, I felt like I was making so much money because like I was paying my rent, I was paying my gas, I was paying all the utilities and shit, and somebody else's rent, most of it, and their food plus my food, all that, and I still had money like left over. And then like now, I'm like, now I'm making almost a little under double that, and like I can barely pay for shit. Like I have,
I know.
we have extra money, but not like a lot.
Yeah.
But again, that's also perspective. Like everything's gone up.
Well, also we're like also paying more bills than we were before too.
Well,
you didn't have a car payment before. You didn't have, you know.
But also,
you also weren't paying for 3 kids.
And yeah, and that was a hard adjustment, though.
I bet.
About that.
I bet.
That was, and me and you have talked about that. We got in discussions about that a few times because I was still in that mindset of only like worrying about me.
Yeah.
And there were a few times where you're like, you do have kids that live here. Like,
well, because the most frustrating thing that you would do, that you still sometimes do, is you'd be like, I'm gonna go get food, and then you would just leave and come back with just food for just you. And I'm like, so what are the kids gonna eat? And you're like, oh, I didn't know they were hungry. Well, they are 7 and 5. So, sometimes they're not going to tell you. You just got to feed them. Yeah.
You just got to put it by the door and run away.
Sometimes you just got to be the parent.
Yeah. It was just a
like, difficult... No, it's fine. I'll make some chicken nuggets.
No, even... it was just I'm sure it was a mindset thing too, but it was basically out of routine too, because I lived by myself for the most part, and that was my thing, is that I got to be home by myself. I had a girlfriend, she would come over, we would do stuff, but that was that wasn't our place. Like, that was mine. Like, she had her own place, that was my place. So I could come home, I could do anything, I could go leave in the middle of the night, I could wake up and smoke or drink in the middle of the night. Like, it didn't really matter. And so, like, I was stuck in that. And so when we got together, I was like, yeah, I'm hungry, I'm just gonna go get food. And then, like I said, the few times that we had
and I just had to be like, well,
we had discussions. I
had to be like, well, if you're hungry,
don't you think they're hungry?
Think maybe the kids are hungry? Like, the last time they ate was the same time the last time you ate.
That just never... So... it took a while for that to, like, even register in my head, because in credit to you, your kids have always been self-sufficient.
Oh, yeah, my kids are free-range chickens.
And they both shown and would, like, make their own food. Like, I'd seen them do it. So in my head, that's why that was my excuse.
Well, I'm going to eat Taco Bell, and if they're hungry, they can have ramen.
Okay, I'm not saying it was nice. I was saying that was my thought process, was, well, they haven't said anything about food, so obviously they're not hungry, because if they were hungry, they would have came down and asked or made themselves food. I am hungry, and so I'm going to go get food. And then, like, it took a while. It took a few times.
A few times nothing, a few years.
For me, yeah. For me to be like, oh, I get it. Like,
Oh shit,
like,
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is that.
It took having a baby of his own for him to be like, oh, they're not always going to tell you that they're hungry. Got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to force them to eat.
Yeah. Sometimes making the excuse of, well, they ate a box of candy, they ate food, is not a good idea. It doesn't count.
Why are you saying that like I'm the one? You're the one who says that to me all the time. Well, he ate cakes. Okay.
It's not all he eats. You just act, okay, you go the other end of the spectrum, though. He could eat, like, fries and chips and stuff that's actually, like, yes, it's not healthy, but it's food, it's sustenance.
There's no calories in mashed potatoes.
And you'll be like, he hasn't eaten all day. What do you mean? There's 7 bags of things empty around the house. What do you mean he hasn't eaten?
He hasn't eaten. He hasn't had a meal. He hasn't had real potential food.
Well, that poop he had today says that he's had
because I bought pizza last night, so he had real food.
Real food. Anyway. So do you...
Because he loves pizza.
So obviously... I know. So obviously... Dan... And he's not going to watch this, so it doesn't really matter. But...
Yeah, but my mom's going to tell him.
Not to burst your bubble, Dan, but she thinks you're real swell. But, like...
Mom already told him that.
Obviously, yeah, I know. You know, Cheryl really likes you and appreciates you. Thanks for blowing the bubble, Mom.
It made a huge impact in her life. Oh, why'd you tell him that? We don't have that kind of relationship.
I was gonna save that for when he died. It was gonna be the longest con of my life.
I'd be so sad.
I know, but could you? Okay, okay. I know that would make you sad, but could you imagine the amount of tears, not from you, but from everybody that thought that you and Dan just had that awkward relationship that everybody sees, and then you come to his funeral with like this 7-page essay about how great he was, about
everything he meant to me, and everything that he did that mattered.
Yeah,
it made an impact to my life.
It would have been the best anticipation moment ever. Anyway, but like. Obviously, you think Dan's great, but was there, as far as like little things, was there things about Dan being in your life that helped you? That like shaped who you are?
Yeah, I've said that.
The person you are, what you look for?
Yeah.
And do you think you, well, that's a harder question. Never mind. I was going to say, do you think that you would have gotten those things on your own, or Dan kind of put those things?
No, I think there's a lot of things that Dan taught me or showed me about the world that I don't think I would have gotten on my own or gotten from somewhere else. I mean, maybe, possibly. That's too hard to say. Who knows?
That's what I just said. That's why I stopped myself when I was like,
you're making me itch my head now.
Sorry. So, as far as like stereotypes of step parents,
yeah,
you obviously had both.
Yeah. Well, I never had like the bad step parent though. I didn't have like Cinderella's stepmother. She didn't kill my none of them killed my mother to like force me to be a slave.
It's a fair compromise.
I did kind of feel like Cinderella with the one guy though, but
yeah.
But he didn't kill my mom. She was just going to school.
I think
he just took advantage of the fact that she was never home.
I'm going to put my you can chime in if you feel the need, but I think that there's stigma wouldn't really be the word, but I'm going to use it anyway, of step parents, of like that they're not allowed things, or that, like, well, you're just a step parent, so.
I hate that. So I hate that for
And
many reasons, and it's not because I have a husband who's a step parent. I hate that because I've been the kid of step parents. I hate that because of I just hate that. I hate that because that person is a part of that person's life. So okay,
well, that's what.
For example, my ex-husband is married.
Yeah.
And that person is not just some girl he married.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not just some person he married. It's now the step parent of my children.
Mm-hmm.
Period. She is now a parent. We are all parents in this together now. Like, and I think a lot of your kids respecting them as a parent also comes from you guys.
Yep.
Like, if I'm not showing that person respect, or I'm talking shit about, well, I don't know why she gets a say,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's gonna cause issues between your child and that person now.
Mm-hmm.
And so now your child isn't happy with this person that they probably could have been happy with. They probably couldn't have been an issue.
Well, and that's kind of what that's kind of what I was saying about, me taking the time and having that time with the girls, specifically from my point of view.
Yeah.
Is that, like, I do understand the short time. I do understand, like your mom, not in a bad light, but if your mom, like, is going from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend, like, I understand that. Like, you don't want to just, like, oh, we've been dating for 3 days, so you get to make decisions, and, like, I get that part of it. But, like, to what you just said, though, if you have somebody in your child's life for, I would say, a year or longer,
Yeah.
then they're going to have a relationship with that person, regardless of what kind of relationship that is, or how good or bad that is, or whatever. They are going to have a relationship with that person. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Spend that much time around each other, it's going to happen.
And boundaries do need to be made one way or another. Like, it doesn't,
yeah. And yes, but also, like, I feel like decisions also need to be inclusive with that, if that is the case. If it's kind of, I would attribute that to if you're going to be in my kid's life, you're in their life.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter if we're not together. It doesn't matter if we break up or get divorced or whatever. You're still going to be in their life. That's how I feel about being a step parent, is that regardless of whether they have that relationship, you're going to have effect on them.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have an effect on them. Therefore, you should have an opinion. You should be able to have an opinion
when parents
on that.
break up, it's not just you guys that are affected. The kids are affected too. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
and also, it's different perspectives. Like, I've said that.
Like, I miss those kids.
Yeah.
I think about them all the time.
The
5 and 2-year-old that I took care of, I think about them all the time. Because I helped take care of them. I lived with them. They were...
And I've said this to you, and I'm not saying this is true for every step parent, because there are bad step parents in whatever way you want to classify that. But my thing is, I feel like there's a thing about being a step parent to where you have a different perspective on things. I feel like, and I can notice it now with Wyatt, with how attached I am to him, and how I would have looked at the girls. And it's a different perspective, because you're not that you're not emotionally invested, but, like, you didn't go through that.
Yep.
So, like, if Emma or Alice were to be, like, I don't know, I could make an example of, like, if they were to be like, hey, this person called me this or whatever. Like, as a disciplinarian parent, you would be like, well, what did you do? Well, what did this happen? Well, why did this? Or like the school. You know what I mean? Like, the school calls, and your immediate reaction is like, well, what did you do? What did you do? But, like, what? But like on a different perspective.
But if it was happened to Wyatt,
yeah, it'd
you'd
be
be
like, no.
oh,
It'd be like, no.
Fuck that, I'm coming down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so now you get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
Oh,
It's
so
like,
now you understand my side of it.
no, but that's what I'm saying though. Like it's a different. Well, I was saying it in the reverse of that, but yeah, I was saying it's just like a different perspective, and so like I feel like that input should be listened to.
Yeah. It didn't come natural to you with the girls. I had to teach that with you.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and I understood why. You didn't have kids of your own. And just like I said to you about other things too, your patience with them is really low because you didn't have to go through the toddler phase.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that a lot. I was like, you've never had to do the toddler. It's different. Like even you said, yeah, but I helped Tiffany raise my kids. It's not the same.
No.
You didn't live 24/7 in the house with those kids. You didn't, you know what I mean? Like you, that was not your responsibility 100% of the time. So it's a whole different ball game dealing with a toddler when it's yours, when it's something that you have to be responsible for.
But also, and I know that you, and I'm not saying that I'm like the best, but I will say that I feel like that balance with the girls has gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you've gotten more patient.
Because I feel
and it's not because of Wyatt, you just got more patient. It's just something that I was telling you at first.
Yeah, just that mentality, that joke that you just made. But like, yes, I still do that to the girls of like, well, what happened? But I'm not as like, I don't know, I'm more understanding of that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm still like, fuck, again? Like, but also, like, things that have happened recently with Emma, like, initially you're like, shit. But then, like, when she explained it, I was like, sounds solid.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
Well, it's just like when she got in trouble for the fight or whatever. Like my initial
that's what I was talking about.
My initial like me hearing that initially was like, fuck. Like why can't she just get this right?
Yeah.
Like why she's doing so good and then she back slopes and then the teachers told me what happened and how it went down and she told me
flashback
and like, she told me what happened and how it went down and I was like,
makes sense.
All right.
whole story is gone now. Oh, that's weird. Mine turned
It
on.
just turned off. 'Cause it got tired of us.
We're done with you guys.
But
Well,
she's just,
hopefully you heard that.
and it helps because I've told her, like, I want to hear it from you. I don't want to be called by a teacher and be blindsided by what I'm hearing. I don't want a teacher calling me and be like, do you know your daughter did this? And me be like, no. Like, that makes me feel so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And so it's gotten to a point now where, like, if something happens at school, she even asks the teachers, can I please call my mom and let her know what happened? I will tell her the truth. I'll tell her everything, but please let me call her and tell her what happened.
Well, I think, and again, that I'm not attributing. I know prefacing this is going to make it sound like it, but I'm not attributing that to that parenting choice. But I'm saying I feel like the honesty thing makes that a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because that's always built into both of us with the
Yeah.
girls, that they know that now. And
Well, and I've
Emma
also
especially
explained to
now.
Emma. I've also had to have this conversation with Emma though, when she was in middle school, because she would get in so much trouble and she would blame half of it on, like, the teachers and
Yeah.
the staff and this and that, and it was hard to believe her one way or another because I was getting lies from her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, but I also could see it in the staff.
Yeah.
Like, when we would have those meetings with the staff, I could see them targeting her.
For
And I'm just
sure.
like, okay, what the fuck?
Well,
like,
that was
you literally, like, there was one time where the staff, like, basically told me they were.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Well,
what?
no, what they said was, well, you know her, they didn't say record. They basically did. They're like, well, you know her record in this school, so she did this. Something to that effect.
Yeah, but they had no evidence of her doing it.
But that's also, I told her that when we moved to Gakana. I was like, this is your, like,
Last
anything
chance.
that happens here, it's not the teachers, it's you.
Yeah.
Like, I understood in Green Bay because you went from, you know, You can try it, but hopefully it'll pick it up. Anyway, but it's gonna pick it up anyway. But anyway, but she's just so like self-aware in a way of like calling you
Yeah.
and being like the one that sticks out of my head is when she called you and because you had told her at one point, you're like, can we just chill? Like, can I just have like a couple weeks where like you're not getting yelled at or you're not missing class or you're not like, can we just chill?
Yeah.
And
I just have a break from
yeah,
rebellious Emma.
yeah, and she was like totally okay with it. And then something happened. It wasn't that time. Something happened with the teacher. And immediately that was what she said to you. It wasn't like, I'm sorry, or it was, I'm sorry, but it wasn't like, fuck, I'm going to get in trouble. It was like, it was her being like, I really tried. Like, I'm really trying. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this on purpose. I'm not, being rebellious, even though she didn't say
I
it that
wasn't
way.
even doing anything, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really trying. Like, even that of like she's actually consciously being like, okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to do this. Like, even that is like ahead, I feel, is like ahead of her age. It's really nice. I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
Nice.